Sara Sizwe, where I saw her. Here she comes. Returning her second year. Sara Sizwe.
Yes, greetings everyone.
There you go. Hey, 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 hey.
It's good to be here. It's good to see all these new faces. All right, so I'm Sarah Sizwe. Last year was my first year at Aya, and I am an English language arts teacher. The course that I taught last year was called Articulating the Soul. It was a writing course. We did a lot of reading, writing. We read some African epics. We did some literary analysis, and the students had to write all of the different types of essays. Um, and they have stories about that. At first, they didn't really, enjoy the workload that was required in, strength writing. But they stuck with it, and by the end of our 2 semesters together, they were shelling out excellent papers, and they all welcomed the challenges further. So I was grateful because it was new to me to teach on this type of platform, as well as to teach English language arts, because my background is in history, anthropology, as well as theology. So I focused on those modes. I also, I majored in international studies. So I do a lot of travel and a lot of preservation of culture. So what made it so blissful last year was that I could integrate what I've learned in terms of cultural literature from, let's say, West Africa or the Caribbean, and I can incorporate that into the coursework at Aya, as well as expand and motivate the students to, you know, step outside of the box with some of their skills with writing. So this year, we are not going to do the same writing course. I have cultivated a literature course. So we're going to focus on reading fiction and nonfiction and doing literary analysis, reading, analyze, and composing essays and book reports. And the class that I'm offering this year for ELA is called Words of Passage, Literature Across the African Diaspora. Some of the books that we are going to tap into, one of them is Tacky's Revolt. This book talks about the rise and the rebellion led by Tacky in Jamaica. Things Fall Apart, which, this is an essential read that we need to read and reread over again many, many times, because there's always something new to grasp from the words and the lessons of Chinua Achebe. We're going to read Louisiana by Erna Broadburr and a few more titles. Um, in addition to the in addition to this literature course, I'm also teaching 2 other courses. So the other course that I'm offering for high school and both middle school students is an elective, and it is called The Natural Mystic Within. And this ties into why I love Aya. It's because I'm actually able to share, my strengths with the students and my wisdom. So this is going to be a course that focuses on African mysticism and philosophy. Um, and it's somewhat like a virtual rites of passage. So we're going to study, from an anthropological perspective, mysticism, mythology, folklore across the Caribbean as well as in West Africa. We're also going to delve into some of the African philosophies, the principles, the foundational pieces of culture and tradition. And I think it's so important that our students learn these things and actually embrace it for themselves. And it's somewhat complementary to if they're actually going through a rites of passage program, or if they just need more wisdom of, their culture and knowledge of self and character development. So all of those things are going to be covered in that elective course. The last course that I'm offering this upcoming school year is Peopling the Earth Origin of World Civ. This is a middle school social studies course that I'm very excited about. Again, I get to tap into my background in anthropology and paleontology. So I'm going to basically take us from the very beginning, the origins of civilization, all the way to map out how we've spread and began to people the earth. So we have some works from Baba Runuku Rashidi, some works from, I can't think of his name. I always trip up on his name, but I literally have his videos like a few feet away from me. But he is a famous anthropologist from England, and he's also the head of the Smithsonian National African Art Museum in Washington, D.C. We're going to study their works as well as some of my own research, things that I found. So those are the three courses that I'm offering, and I'm very excited about them. And how it ties into what I love about Aya is because every year we come with something new. So I spent this summer creating these courses, going through books and all kinds of topics that we will discuss and cover, downloading journals and articles and things to share with the students. And it's still in the works, and I'm ready to get started.
No, thank you so much, Sara Sizwe. We appreciate you.